Hello, my name is Magdalene. If you don't know who I am, guess what today is? We are doing the best of 2025. We are a little bit past the midway point of the year. So excited for you to be here. So let's start off with, I'm gonna go with the order I do my makeup. So starting off with eyebrows. When it comes to eyebrows, eyebrow products haven't been too impressive. I feel like brow gels and glues have not been what I wanted it to be. I did try out the NYX. I don't know where it's at. The NYX one, I'll put a picture here. It was great when I did my first impressions. It worked out very well, but I tried it a second and a third time and it did not work. So I'm only gonna talk about these two products, which coincidentally are literally a dupe for one another. These are new brow ink pens. What that typically does, it gives your eyebrows a very natural feather-like look, and that's what basically a pen does. I love pens. Since NYX released their pen back in 2020, I've been loving a good pen because I do have very sparse eyebrows, and these pens in particular, they have these little bristles where Benefit has 3, L'Oreal has 2. This creates a very natural eyebrow look, which I love. I think it works out very well. You can have a very natural brow. You can really build it up. And these are literally the same. The main difference, I would say, is the bristles. This one has 3. Personally, I like the 3 because it just makes it, I feel like, a little bit faster, more efficiently. This one is good. You just have to go a little over, maybe twice, because of the 2 bristles. Honestly, they're the same thing. They work out very well. They both have a good amount of shades each. L'Oreal is half the price of Benefit. So if you don't care about the little bristles, honestly, these are literally the same thing. I would say this is a dupe for this. I love them so much. And what's funny is that they both released literally within like a month or 2. So I love these bad boys so much. This is coming from someone who has very sparse eyebrows. You know my brows. You know how I feel about my brows, okay? Next up is eyeshadow palettes. Eyeshadows, I haven't been reviewing a lot of eyeshadow palettes. I just feel like I'm not really excited. What I really was focusing on this year is looking to find a drugstore option and alternative for you. I feel like the drugstore has been lacking with eyeshadow palettes. The only ones I really like is NYX, which is older. Maybelline has a nude one, and then Milani has the matte one. Those are the 3 I've loved so much, but they've been out forever and I literally always use them. As you know, I love me a good matte look. Those are all matte formula. But what I've been really like looking at is Morphe. Morphe's out here revamping everything. I really think 2025 is their year. This is the palette they just released. Well, actually, they literally released about 8 palettes, I think. They released 3 or 4 of these bigger ones, which is like these palettes, these pans. 4 of these little ones that have 6. So it's nice that you have options. You have a little mauve rose. You have a neutral with warm and cool undertones. These are amazing. I've tried this one in particular at least 5 times. I use it today to get this smoky eye. Everything is from this palette, from the dark shades to the brown shades. And I also love Morphe's new brush line. If you're not familiar with Morphe started off being called Morphe brushes, and their brushes were like amazing because they were good quality brushes for affordable prices. I believe they were recently bought out a few years ago, and I feel like now they're revamping. Now they have these new brushes that have this white barrel with the information on the brush in the back and then Morphe's name on the front. They released basically a whole line of brushes, and I love that you could buy them individually. You could buy a whole set. You could buy 4 at a time. I love the versatility. Back to the palettes. I love how this palette looks. The packaging is very nice for it to be drugstore. I'm not a big packaging person. For me, as long as it's easy to open and easy to apply and get the product out, that's kind of all I care about. But does nice packaging like kind of give you something to look at or something to pause? Yes. When I saw this, I'm like, wow, this is like a nice M. It's so cute. It kind of corresponds with what's inside. Even this one too. I really like that they're just revamping everything because Morphe is a good brand. They've always been synonymous with good brushes and good eyeshadow palettes. If it's anything they know how to do is those two, and girl, we're here. We're back. years later, when I started my YouTube channel in 2018, in 2018, Morphe was at the top of their game and they were releasing left and right. And to see 7 years later, I now am on their PR list. They send makeup and the makeup is that good and it's affordable and available at Ulta. Kind of full circle moment and I love it. I think Morphe is really coming back and on their A game for sure. Okay, let's go on with primers. So primers matter. If you're unsure about a primer, if you don't use primer does make a difference. Can your makeup look nice throughout the day without a primer? Yes. If you layer your makeup slowly in thin layers, yeah, your makeup's gonna look nice. Primer will help it look even better. I've noticed when I don't use primer, a lot of my texture and pores show a lot sooner than when I wear primer. So a primer that I really like is this new Maybelline Grippy Serum Primer. It's basically a newer type of sticky hydrating primer. What I love about sticky hydrating primers is that a lot of times these types of primers work the best with the majority of foundation, a matte, a skin tint, lumi, a thin textured. I find that matte foundations are the ones that are a little bit on the iffy side how they work with other products. I do love this one. This one, not only is it sticky, it comes with this like applicator, which is really nice, easy to use, and Maybelline's out here with the sticky primer game. I'm not mad at it. I really like it because this only hydrates and does stickiness to your makeup. We would need something to blur out these pores, and Milani released this either late yet last year or I think it was earlier this year, this blurring primer. Look at this. It's literally a little silicone. You would just add it here in the middle of your face to fill in and conceal those pores, and then you have a flawless hydrating poreless base with this right here. Something that does a little bit of the both is this poreless matte primer. It smooths your pores and it mattifies your skin, but it doesn't mattify your skin where it's like super drying. I was very pleasantly surprised how well this Dominique Cosmetics Cooling Blur mattifying primer worked, because I honestly didn't expect much when I touched it because it feels very sort of creamy, but you apply it, you let it sit, you apply your makeup, and my makeup just wore so freaking beautifully, and it's very forgiving. It's like a very gentle mattifying blurring primer that there's nothing really out there like this. I feel like you could get this finish or this result with 2 other primers or 3 primers. I typically mix and match primers. If I'm using something hydrating, I want something mattified here or pores that fill in here. This does it all, you know. I was very pleasantly surprised how well it worked. Was this Rimmel Multitasker Better Than Filter Glowy Skin. What this is like a base. You can use this as a primer. You could use it just as over your primer. You could use this over your foundation. This is just something that gives you a glow from within type, kind of like the e.l.f. and the Charlotte Tilbury one. This I would say is one of my favorites because the texture is extremely thin and it truly blurs your skin. Typically anything that's glowy or that highlights will accentuate your pores and make your pores look a lot more visible. That's kind of not what I'm going for because I do have big pores and I have oily skin. When you have oily skin, your pores tend to just appear bigger. They kind of are bigger, and this I just love how well it works over primer as like a little glowy base, and it blurs. Anything blurring I'm gonna buy and I'm gonna love. I was just so surprised how well this worked because it's Rimmel London. I don't really use a lot of Rimmel London makeup, but girl, I'm a start. By the way, it comes in several different shades. I'm in the shade here light medium, but this one is too light. I'm probably in the shade medium, so just keep in mind to get your shade because this can look a little bit light on your skin tone. But the good thing is there's different shades and it's available at Walmart. Talking about base, let's talk really quick about this sunscreen I've been loving. It's fairly new. I got this in PR. It's ultraviolet. This brand is available at Sephora and it's a sunscreen brand. I have melasma, which is like dark spots that are right here, and mineral sunscreen helps melasma not become worse. My melasma is here, it's already here, it's not gonna go anywhere, but sunscreen is gonna help prevent those spots getting darker. The only way your melasma can basically disappear is a chemical peel, but that's gonna be like once every year, and the chemical peel I got was $1,500, so it's very, very expensive. Also retinols, tretinoins, and like the lightening serums, like dark spot lightening serums, that tends to help. Even me doing all that, my spots are still there, and I've noticed they've gotten a little bit darker since the summer has started, although I'm wearing my sunscreen. So just keep in mind, sunscreen is so, so important. I was advised by my dermatologist that mineral sunscreen is the best for sunspots because it has zinc oxide. That zinc oxide is a powder, which a lot of times, unfortunately, with mineral sunscreens, you do get a white cast, but this one has like a bit of a tone, a cream tone to it. So it really hugs the skin and it oxidizes on the skin very, very well. Zinc oxide helps block the sun from affecting your actual skin. So that is what a mineral sunscreen does, and this one has been my jam. I've been trying out a bunch of sunscreens, and I love Korean sunscreens, but those are chemical sunscreens. The HaruHaru sunscreen and the TirTir sunscreen are freaking amazing. Talking about HaruHaru and TirTir, HaruHaru does have a mineral sunscreen. It's the purple gray packaging, so I forgot about that, but yeah. This, I will have this link. These are available on Amazon. And then this is the TirTir one. Love it. Okay, foundations. Let's talk about bases. I feel like skin tints have taken over. And I used to have beef with skin tints because skin tints can be a little bit finicky. The reason is a lot of times they tend to be thinner in texture, and a lot of times for your makeup to look good, for your base to look good, you need some sort of texture. It needs to be some sort of thick, some sort of oomph. We need that in order for it to blend on your skin well. Things that are extremely thin in makeup, they can work, but I feel like those work the best when it's a blush or a bronzer, not an actual base product, because it tends to peel, it tends to separate with anything. A brush could do that, your hand could do that, a primer can do that. So when things have a little more texture, it tends to just hug your skin immediately. That's how I could describe it. I hope I could explaining that well. Laura Mercier has this tinted moisturizer. It's the blurred matte. So it's not matte what you think, like drying matte. It is matte where it adheres to your skin. So it gives you a glowy, long-wearing face base with the product adhering to your skin. It has great texture because it's a little thick. Laura Mercier has like this thick, thin texture. When you apply it, it kind of thins out, it shears out, and it becomes, and it looks like that tinted moisturizer look. But this matte is so beautiful because it does hug the skin. Therefore, you can either leave it with one layer or build it up. Because it adheres, you can build it up nicely. You can make it have more coverage if you desire. This has been a game changer. This is one of the first matte tinted moisturizer skin tint that I use up until later. We'll talk about it. Laura Mercier did update her original tinted moisturizer, which is the dewy one. And I wanted to pick one or the other. And for me, you know, matte, I'm going to pick matte all day, every day, because I do have oily skin and I wear my makeup all day long. Another skin tint that I really liked is the new Makeup Forever Boost ones. I love how it hugs the skin. It feels like your skin drank water without it being super slippery and super thin. It has great pigment, but it doesn't feel like it's sucking the hydration out of your skin. I feel like it's giving you, it feels like it's giving you hydration into your skin. It's pigmented. It comes in several different shades. I really, really like this. I wasn't sure if I was gonna like this because like I don't know, the component, the applicator was just kind of weird, but I love it. Oh, and by the way, I'm in the shade 7 here and 3C. I will tag and link all my shades in the description box. So if I forget any of the shades, you know I got you. They're there. There's so many products here. I may forget 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. So bear with me. Next one is Hourglass. This, I'm gonna say it's an honorable mention because these two does what this does, but I kind of liked it still. I think it worked out very well. It has like a thickish texture. It feels nice on the skin. Like it's thin, but it has some oomph to it. And you know when you're like just blending it out, and you kind of just let it dry. You see how wet it is? It'll make your face look super, super hydrating. It also dries down. That is very important for foundations to do. They have to dry down in order for you to either build it up or it'll just sit on your face well, and or when it dries down, it's more likely it's gonna work with other products like your cream bronzer, your cream blush. I would say this one is an honorable mention because I love the feeling and the lightweightness of it, but I would probably pick Makeup Forever over this one. And this one is just on a league in its own, you know? You guys, I am almost forgetting my favorite Milk Skin Tint Hydro Grip. This has literally been my go-to because it is pigmented. It gives you like skin tint foundation feels because it's a little thick and it does provide a lot of pigment, and because it has the grip technology, you don't really need a primer. You can just put it on your skin and it grips and adheres to your skin. Of course, it does work extremely well with the Milk Grip Primer, but this has been such a go-to. When I've been doing my makeup with no powder, I've been using this one and I find that it works so well, and I do believe because it grips your skin already, it's fabulous. I love it. I'm in the shade 8. I can't believe I almost forgot this one. This is such a great new product. I just can't believe how much I love it. I even influenced my best friend. She bought it. She's like, friend, you influenced me. I'm like, I did? I'm like, how? She's like, girl, I bought the Milk makeup. And I'm like, do you like it? She's like, yes. So you know you're an influencer when you influence your best friend of over 20 years. You know, your friends from like back in the day, they're the ones that tell you the truth. They keeps it real because they knew you before the times, okay? If you have a friend that you've had for a long time and they're good people, they have to be good people still, keep them. You're already stuck, okay? You're stuck to the hip. By the way, am I missing any new high-end foundations, like new that have released this year? I know Lawless has one. I have not tried that foundation, and I have the new Clinique one here that I need to try out and tell you guys about it. But are there other high-end foundations that you would want to see a review? Because I really can't think off the top of my head what new ones are out here. So the drugstore has been drugstoring because we started off the year with these bad boys right here. This has gone viral for a reason. At first, I wasn't too excited for this Lumi Matte foundation. I'm like, what is a Lumi Matte? I just wasn't sure. And this is like the perfect combo of a skin tint and a foundation. It gives you a Lumi look, but it mattifies in the sense that it adheres to your skin. A lot of things now are not matte like 2016, 2017, where it's that drying down matte. It's like a Lumi matte, and it's a matte where it adheres onto your skin. That I feel like is the mattifying part. And this is just beautiful. I'm in the shade 220. This is under the warm category. I have a neutral undertone. This actually has more of an olive undertone. So once it oxidizes on my face, it turns into like that olive tone, which makes it work for me. I think if I mix both of these shades together, 322 and 220, I feel like it would be my perfect tone. If we're looking for something that's perfect, if you want to get both and you're my complexion, I would say get both of these. This foundation is great. I really, really like it. Although I did need some time to warm up to it. I think my first impressions wasn't great. And then I used it 5 other times. I'm like, oh yeah, I like it. I like it. Moving on to skin tints that have completely wowed me this year are these two. You have your glowy version, you have a soft matte version. e.l.f. released the Halo Glow Skin Tint. This is under their Halo Glow line, so it's going to be glowy. It really reminds me of a sunscreen with a tint in it, like a legit tinted sunscreen. Is that what they're called? Tinted SPF. Although it's under skin tint, this I find it's very sunscreen-esque. It's very, you're gonna go to the beach and slap this on because it's gonna cover you. However, It does work very well with other products and powder. So you can also wear it like a full coverage. Well, not full coverage. You can also wear it like a typical skin tint base with your other makeup if you desire, or you could wear it by yourself. It has that versatility where you get that sunscreen skincare look and feel. It even smells like it. And you can also get that glam if you want to glam it up a little bit. This is mineral sunscreen. We just talked about mineral sunscreen. It is so important, and I was so happy that this one has zinc oxide to help with my manchas, and hopefully they don't get worse, you know? Another mineral sunscreen. This one literally, not sunscreen, skin tint. This one literally released like a week after this one. And when I looked at this, CoverGirl has a pink skin tint, and I did not like it. I thought that texture was really bad. It peeled, I think. It separated. It wasn't great. So when I saw this one, I was not excited. I'm like, another skin tint. But then I was like, wait, it says blurring. I'm like, okay, let's see what a blurring skin tint is looking like. And girl, when I tell you the blur on this one is amazing. When I reviewed it, I was literally on camera testing it out, and I was like, because it completely blurred the skin. And this is a skin tint with SPF and mineral sunscreens. That is actually what I have on today. Look how beautiful the skin is. My makeup's been on now for about 4 hours, and look, damn, this is so good. I would say it's my favorite. It's my favorite skin tint right now. I just love the blur, and I love that it is a soft matte, which means it adheres to your skin. Again, it's not a matte where it's drying. It's just like hugging the skin. This thing's not gonna move, and it doesn't move. I know, because I've confirmed and verified. Okay, talking about not moving. This is a concealer. It's a 2-in-1. It's a concealer foundation, but we're gonna treat it today as a foundation. That's why it's in the foundation section of this video. This is the L'Oreal Skin Ink Foundation Concealer. It is super thin where it feels like skin, and it hugs your skin beautifully. But as a concealer, I don't like it. I think it's too drying. It accentuates all of my texture here, and I feel like the formula is a little too thin to work well in the under eye area. But on the skin, it's crazy because on the skin, it does like the complete opposite. It provides beautiful coverage. It doesn't accentuate texture. It kind of blurs, and most importantly, it hugs the skin. Literally, this does not move. You literally don't have to set it. I really believe this is a nice self-setting product. And because it's so thin, it's so workable. You can do a thin layer, you could build it up, and it's stunning on your skin. I'm in the shade medium, neutral 265. If you have oily skin, if you sweat a lot, if you live in a humid climate, this would be great to like do really quickly, because look, it comes with a doe foot, and you can just kind of do like that, blend it out, call it a day. This is bomb on the skin though. Yeah. Moving on, TirTir. So TirTir just released it. Well, not just. I just reviewed it, but this been out for like at least a month. They have the Mask Fit Foundation. This is sold on Amazon, and they have the cushion one that released last year, and they released this liquid one. This is basically a traditional foundation. It's liquid, it's long wearing, very, very pigmented. TirTir is a Korean skincare brand, and it hugs the skin well. It lasted very well. It is a little bit on the glowy side, so keep in mind. A matte primer works very well with this. No foundation also works well as long as you do powder pretty well so it lasts. And a sticky foundation, a sticky primer, I mean, work well too. So I really like that with this foundation. You can use it several different ways. You can do like a thin layer because it's pigmented. A thin layer will work, but if you like a full coverage look, you can definitely build it up, and this builds very quickly because it's very, very pigmented and long wearing. I wasn't surprised that I liked it, but I was surprised how different it was from the original. It is thicker because it is a liquid, you know? Moving on. Talking about skin really quick, a highlighter that I like. You know, I'm not a big highlighter girl. Highlighter and me, we're cool, right? We're all right. We're all right. But this Lumi from L'Oreal, this did release this year. I'm confusing like December and then January. This is a highlighting stick that literally makes your skin look super wet. Hold on, let's add it and see. right here, right here. It works great on top of, oh no, blend. On top of powder and under powder. It gives your skin that wet look. I'm just still in awe about how good this looks. Not me with the oopsies. We'll fix it with the blush when we talk about blush. I love how just wet your skin looks. That was a bit of a wonky application, but you get the vibes, you get the vibes. Let's go in with concealers. This year, I honestly only like 3 concealers. I don't know what the deal is with concealers. I feel like I haven't reviewed a lot of them. These, I will say, are like my wow concealers. It Cosmetics Do It All Radiant Concealer. You know, It Cosmetics is a skincare brand. They do skincare and makeup, and I just love that it works so well for so many people. It Cosmetics is one of the brands you guys like to see the most. I'm always asked about It Cosmetics CC cream, any sort of It Cosmetics product. I literally get asked about a lot, and this one just released, and it is a multivitamin serum concealer. It's literally in the name. It's a serum concealer. It's very lightweight. Texture is extremely thin, but because it is pigmented, you can build it up. It's so hydrating where it doesn't really accentuate texture here. Your eyes could look very textury very quickly, especially if you have like a lot of product on there. I love this so much. This doe foot is very nice. It's big where you can also spot conceal, use it all over your face, or just conceal. It fits very well in the eye area. I really liked how this worked. I'm wearing both of these together, and girl, mixing these together, it's a literal dream because oh, you see that? You see that coverage? I didn't get to sleep a lot last night, and girl, I needed all kinds of highlighting and concealer because my ojeras were looking super deep. So this came in clutch. Estee Lauder Double Wear. We know Estee Lauder Double Wear is bomb. The entire line is beautiful, but this concealer has gone viral for a reason. This doe foot is so big. A little bit, like you just go like that, a little bit goes a long way. It has a bit of a dry down texture. It's hydrating, but with a soft matte. So keep in mind, but I find that it doesn't dry too fast. You have enough time to blend it out, and what I like is that it stays put exactly how you blend it out. When I did my no powder makeup tutorial, I cannot believe I did that. Like, I did a whole makeup look using no powder. This is the concealer I use because I know and trusted, and I knew it wasn't gonna do me dirty, and it just stays. It's so highly pigmented, blendable, and it stays put, but not dry down, where if you don't hurry up and blend it, you're gonna have a spot. No, this is just so perfect, and it's gone viral for a reason. And I mixed these two together. Girl, a concealer that's a little different I haven't seen this year is a dual-ended concealer. These are not my favorite because I always find one side is better than the other. This one is not. It has this cream side where I would use it as a first initial application, blend it out to start off that coverage to see where I'm at. If I want more coverage, you get the liquid side. The liquid side is very thin, so it pairs very well with something that's creamy. Creamy products tend to be a little bit thicker, so I really like that you have the best of both worlds in one product. Something creamy that's going to provide coverage, and something a little bit lightweight that will kind of seal the deal. And that's why I really like this. And this has an olive undertone. Could you believe that? This is shade 60. I love it. I love it a lot. This TirTir is available on Amazon. Talking about concealers, when it comes to concealers, the only color corrector I've found that I like is this Morphe one. Morphe also came out with concealers, but I find that the correctors are better than the concealers. And the reason is it's because it's such a thin formula. It's so thin, it lays so well on your skin, so it feels like skin, which makes it the perfect first step of color correcting your under eye area or any discoloration you have on your face. I love this. The only caveat is that you have to let it dry because it's super thin and hydrating. If you put it on and start blending, it's gonna just blend away. That was why I didn't choose the concealers as a favorite, because I think this works best as a corrector than the concealer concealers because the thin formula is just perfect for color correcting. The bronzers that I cannot stop using is these three. Rare Beauty released these liquid contour. They are contours, but I use this one, Serene, as a bronzer because you see how it has a little bit of warmth in it. And then this one, Solace, I use as a contour because you see how it's a little bit gray. I love that they have both, and I actually use both of these today on my face. I use a little bit of the bronzer warmth and a little bit of the contour to give us that chiseled look. I love this. I think it is so pigmented. It's so easy to use. You can use a lot, you can use a little. It builds very well. I don't ever see that I have splotches or spots, or what are those called? My bumps. They're not bumps, but you know what I mean, splotches. Let's call them splotches. This is amazing. I use this all the time. I love these. I cannot stop putting them down. And yeah, Rare Beauty is that girl though. We know Rare Beauty. One that is very surprising, or pleasantly surprised, CoverGirl. They have the True Blend Skin Enhancer Sticks. This is like a 3-in-1. You have a cream, gel, balm product all in one. Very pigmented, applies extremely well on the skin. And CoverGirl is really out here, and they have blushes of this type too. We'll talk about it. This is the shade Snatched. I also use the shade Sculpted, which is, again, it's like a contour tone, and this is more of the bronzer tone. I love it very much. Very pigmented, a lot more pigmented than I ever anticipated it being, especially it having like that 3-in-1 sort of formula, you know. A traditional, I would say, cream bronzer is this one from Morphe. I would say it rivals the Rare Beauty cream bronzer. I like it. Very pigmented, works out well, blends beautifully, doesn't give a lot of patches. That's the word, patches. Doesn't make you look patchy, which is always like great because no one wants to look patchy, you know. I get a lot of questions about these. I did do a full face of Morphe, and I also did a review on these. The videos are down in my page. If you have any questions, it's there for you, but this is great. It's pigmented. It's like a typical cream product. It blends well. With the creams, you never know. Sometimes they're too rough. They're too hard. A lot of times creams tend to get like hard through time. This, I find that it remains creamy and it goes on very creamy on your skin. Moving on to blushes. Oh my goodness, my goodness. These Maybelline ones, they are new. The matte is new. This actual blush released, I believe, last year, and it was like a glowy version. So the matte, which is Hot Pink Summer and Pink Mirage, are the ones I used this year. This was actually my first time using these. I love them. They're very sheer but buildable, and they have that matte finish, which again adheres to your skin. It doesn't really move around, and I really like it. They come in like a little doe foot action, which I really like these types because you can control the product very well if you want a little bit or if you want to build it up. I really, really like these bad boys. Something very similar to that is the new Strobe from MAC. This blush, again, has like this little doe foot, and it's very thin formula. It's very sheer, but it's not sheer in the way that it disappears. It's sheer in the way that it leaves you with like that nice flush of color. Because it's MAC, it's buildable. So if you add it, blend it out, let it dry down for 30 seconds, build it up, it gives you the beautiful look. And I've been loving this one, Ice Gleam. Such a stunning color. That's the one I'm actually wearing today. I actually builded these two up together. I'm like, ooh, do we like a cream and a liquid build up on a blush? Look, this is how it looks. Ooh, ooh. But anyway, yes, this one is great. MAC is really out here embracing the strobe cream, your skin, glowy skin look, and I'm here for it. But at the same time, MAC stays true to who they are, and they keep the pigment there. They have not messed with the pigment. It's just a little different now where you can build it up more, which I love. A blush that, if you've been watching my videos the last month and a half, I've been loving this blush from Persona Cosmetics in the shade Caramel. This blush is not new. The shade is new. It just released, and I've been loving it. I love a mauve pink blush, like pink rose blush and a coral blush. I am a sucker for both of them. I just love how it looks on my complexion. This is so pigmented. It's super creamy. It doesn't leave you with patches. Creamy products can do that depending on how you apply it. With a cream product, I always suggest you grab a brush and just kind of blend it out on your hand, and then you're gonna blend it out on your cheeky and then call it a day. I think it works out very, very well. I've been really loving this blush. Persona Cosmetics is available at Ulta, by the way. Next one. The last blushes that I am in love with, well, I'm low-key in love with CoverGirl Skin Enhancers. These balms are literally bomb. They're so amazing. Again, you have like that 3-in-1 product, and they come in a coral and a rose shade. Could you believe that? The most perfect shades. This is the peach, and then this is nude flush. I just love it. I think it works out extremely well. Very pigmented, very forgiving, very luscious. It's CoverGirl and drugstore, vegan, cruelty-free. We love that. I made me a coffee. As I am falling asleep. I'm telling you, I could not sleep last night. And I'm like, woof. Pero, okay, we are on powder blushes. So we have to start with, this is technically not a powder. This is like a 2-in-1 Rare Beauty matte bouncy blush. Literally, it's in the name. It's matte in the sense that that matte texture works very well on top of already set skin. And it has this bouncy feel, which can be used as a cream blush. So if you want something that's a 2-in-1 product, definitely get these Rare Beauty blushes. They are freaking amazing. They work out very well. And I like that it's compact. If you don't want to bring your powder blush or your cream blush, you have it, and it's super thin and convenient. They come in all the shades the liquid blush comes in, so if you like those shades, you'll love these. Another one that could be like a 2-in-1, kind of 3-in-1 is these new Morphe. I'm telling you, Morphe's out here taking over 2025 because they have these. These are technically a dupe for the one-size ones. We know the one-size ones, but I like them. This is my favorite one, Beach Bonfire. I just love the peachiness. You get a cream, and then you get a shimmer cream, and then you get a powder blush. I love this. This works out extremely well. Very convenient, very pigmented, and affordable. We love that for us. I will say my top favorite powder blush thus far in 2025, Tower 28. I just cannot believe how bomb this is. This is described as a talc-free setting blush. The texture is like a setting powder, but it's in a blush format. That's very different. I've never heard a blush be described like that, and it has this clay ingredient in it where it controls your oils. And when I tell you this is exactly what this does, yes, I'm using the shade today, Long Island Iced Tea, and I mixed it in with my YSL one today. And girl, when I tell you, this is such a pretty blush because it's very sheer and subtle, but very buildable. Never gonna explode in your face. It's never gonna be like, whoa, I have too much blush on. You're not gonna have that. So if you're into more of a subtle look, everyday look, get the Tower 28 blushes. Amazing. Talking about amazing is Nabla Cosmetics released new blushes. These are their close-up blushes. I love them. They are just a traditional powder blush. I love Nabla Cosmetics. They're available at Ulta, and it's a brand that I don't see being talked about a lot. I think it's kind of a smaller brand out here in the States. I love these blushes. Very pigmented, very luscious. These I would say are a little more pigmented than Tower 28. Therefore, you can't build it as much as you can with the Tower 28, but I feel like they have a very similar vibe, finish, and coincidentally, the packaging is very similar. Huh. Wait, is it this way? Yeah. Huh. So Nabla is Nabla. YSL released their blushes. I really like them. I think YSL does makeup very well. For the price, I mean, it should be done well, and it should be good makeup because it's very expensive and you always get like a little clutch action. This is the shade 37. This is the blush also that I have on today along with the Tower 28. I mixed them. I like it. It's very, very pigmented. When I did my blush recap earlier this year, maybe like 2 months ago, I would say this is one of the more pigmented blushes from what I've talked about here. You get some love out of this, which is good because a little bit does go a long way, and you want to be very cautious with this since it's expensive. It only expect this to be pigmented and us use it very little, sparingly, so we don't run out, right? Next and last powder blush that we're going to talk about is Kosas. This is not new in particular. This released last year, but they released 4 additional shades, and I've been loving this Heartbeat shade. It is like a red orange. It's like a blood orange. It's the perfect combo of both. I love it. I really like this baked blush from Kosas. When they released last year, I was in heaven using these so much because they're like baked. I find that baked blushes tend to be more shimmery, but this is truly a baked blush where it has equal parts shimmer and pigment, and it gives you that natural radiant look. That's what I love the most about this blush, and that they have now 4 additional shades. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, let's take a sip. Let's take a sip. I only have one powder bronzer that I honestly like. The one thing about bronzer, I feel like a lot of bronzers tend to be very warm. Then I end up looking like a Oompa Loompa, and warmth is just, in bronzers, I feel like so many bronzers are made like that. I will say high end tends to make bronzers better. The only drugstore bronzer that I love, well, it's 2, NYX and L'Oreal. L'Oreal does run a little warm, but that one's forgivable. The NYX Butter Melt blushes and bronzers, chef's kiss, because those are literally my favorite. Laura Mercier has this one, and look, it has like, on camera, it looks very warm. As I look at it, it has a perfect neutral undertone. To find a neutral undertone bronzer, girl, there's probably about 2 out here, and this is one of them. I love that it has the shimmer and the bronzer. You mix them together, you get that flush of glowy look. I love it. It's very pigmented. It's a lot more pigmented than it looks. Like, you look at this and you're like, ooh, this looks a little subtle. It's not. It's pigmented enough where you can see your bronzer, and this is actually the bronzer I have on today. I just kind of add a little something something, and I love it. I love it so much. This has been my new go-to bronzer. No lie, I'm kind of surprised how much I liked it. I wasn't sure because by looking at it, you know, that's why we shouldn't judge a book by its cover, okay? Moving on to not judging. My hair is getting on my nerves. I don't wear my hair down as much as I probably would like to. And when it's down, it annoys me because I'm always so used of it being up. And then I'm like, I need to enjoy because this is not gonna last. I'll probably have my hair up by tomorrow. So the big ones that we have left is setting powders. I did a video of my favorite setting powders, not necessarily new ones, but just overall an updated video, because I owed you that. So I'm gonna go through these really, really quickly because we already talked about it in that video. What's the difference of a loose powder versus a pressed powder? A pressed powder tends to give you more of a flawless look. I find that they tend to be more matte and more blurring, but they're pressed. They're very controlled in how you apply it. A loose powder that looks like this, you can see it's loose. You want to look at it and you want to see whether it looks like baking flour. You know how baking flour, when you touch it, it kind of sticks on your finger, just like this one does? You want that sticky look because that just lets you know, and it's an indication that it's gonna adhere onto your face and it's gonna give you a flawless blurred look. All of these powders have that. I love them. They're great. Let's start off with 2 powders that are quite similar are these 2. About Face was the first powder I tried in its kind, where most setting powders, what we're used to is a mattifying powder. It gives you a flawless look. It looks great in photos. If it doesn't have flashback, even perfect. This, on the other hand, it has that flower look and feel. It blurs your skin, but it leaves your skin with a glow. It's not a shimmer glow. It's like a natural glow, a glow that your makeup has been worn in. But at the same time, it lasts. This powder sets your skin beautifully, and I was just so surprised that it wasn't a mattifying powder, and I loved it that much. And you guys know I've always said I love matte powders. They're going to be the best for your eye area and your face, until About Face came out with this, and I was like, okay, there are loose powders that have a bit of a shimmer to it, and that shimmer tends to accentuate pores and texture, which doesn't work out. This doesn't have the shimmer, but it's the finish that it's like a natural glowy finish that it has. I just love it. Same with L'Oreal. L'Oreal came out with the Infallible Blurfection. Literally, it blurs. It gives your skin that nice glow, like, again, your makeup has been worn in. This comes in 4 shades. I believe this one comes in more shades. So if it's one I would pick, it was probably About Face, just because of the shade selection, but they're honestly very, very similar in the sense that they set beautifully, flawlessly your eye area and your face, but it gives you that glow. Wet n Wild, this one is not new. The shade is new. They released, in addition to their banana and translucent, they have now a pink shade. This is very pink. I really like how pink it is. If you ever ask what the difference or why use a pink setting powder, pink setting powders typically go well with medium skin tone or deeper. It tends to neutralize your makeup. If your makeup is looking too warm, if things are just not gelling together, pink setting powder will be your best friend, especially my girls of color that we have brown skin or deep tan skin or deep skin. Pink is where it's at. A yellow one, this is Kosa's. Yellow tends to brighten a little bit, and that's nice. A peach powder does go well, like the One Size Peach. It's not new, that's why we're not talking about it, but that one just gels in with my skin tone beautifully also. Yellow, this I would say is a dupe. No, these are a dupe to these Kosas. It's funny how all of these released this year, and they all literally released within a month of one another. I can't think, none of these have been copied because they literally all released now. Kosas released their powders, and again, it gives you that natural look, glowy look. Your makeup has been worn in, but it's also gonna last all day look. That's honestly what the new setting powders are like these days. We're so used to mattifying powders, but this year, 2025, is the year of that glowy, flawless look without having to add glowy products on your skin. That's what these powders are about, okay? I love them. YSL released their loose powders. They come in 5 shades, which is amazing. And it is a traditional matte powder. It mattifies everything. It makes everything look flawless. I love this yellow shade. I really feel like it warms up to my skin beautifully. If you have medium skin, you can use a yellow powder. It depends your look you're trying to go to. Like this yellow one, I do find it's more golden than actually yellow. I think the golden really hugs your skin well, and you won't really look too yellow, which is nice. And this is just flawless. This is beautiful. Do you need this one? No. But do I like it? And it's like on top 2025? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I will say this is the newest one that is a traditional matte powder from all the other ones I've talked about, which is the Kosas and the L'Oreal and About Face. Huda Beauty's powder, it's not new. This is again your traditional matte powder, but this shade is new. The Ube Birthday Cake. I categorize this as pink, but it's more lavender pink. It has a little bit of hints of purple. When I tell you, when I first reviewed this, I absolutely love it. I love this color. I think this is my favorite pink out of all of the setting powders out in the market. If you are my complexion and you're looking for a powder for it to just melt your makeup beautifully, I would say it's this pink, because especially if you have a neutral undertone, this just gels in so well with your skin tone. It kind of blends in flawlessly. You know how sometimes it kind of looks like you have a white cast, or like you see lines of powder until your skin warms up, it looks better. This, your skin just looks beautiful, automatic, one of my favorite shades. The only reason I kind of stopped using it is because I was literally using it all the time, and I'm like, okay, we need to like move on to the next powders, you know? Let's talk pressed powders. These are my favorites that have released. Givenchy, they had their viral loose powder that released. I don't know when it released, but I reviewed it. I remember like 4 or 5 years ago, and I loved it. This is basically that in a pressed form. It's now mattified pressed. Givenchy changed their loose powder, which is now shimmery, and no one likes it because that's the shimmer I'm talking about that accentuates your texture. We need the matte loose back, but this is what we have working with the pressed powder. I like that it has 4 shades and you basically customize your shade. They have about 6 different tones, which I really like. I love Givenchy powder. This is why it's here. Personally, a pressed powder is just not my favorite. If I'm gonna pick a powder, I can only buy one powder. It's going to be a loose powder. It's personally my preference. However, if you're like me, you haven't slept, you need some highlight action, I will use a pressed powder to really highlight my inner corner and then use a loose powder to kind of powder everything away. This is the Stage White powder from One Size. It's literally white. The suggested way to use it is a brush and just kind of add it right here and then highlight your under eyes. What I do, you know me, I got my powder puff and I sure did went ham in there because I needed some highlight today because I was looking a mess. And then I just used my other loose powders to kind of just smooth everything out. YSL has a pressed powder too. I really like this. It's very smoothing. It's very blurring. It's very expensive. If we're gonna pick one, I would pick the One Size due to price. The One Size will give you more of a white look. This is more of a translucent look, like a translucent pressed powder. So that's the main difference. It's a big difference, but they're under like the pressed powder category. That's it for powders, you guys. Talking about setting things down, let's move over to the setting spray. The difference in setting powder and setting sprays, they both help your makeup last all day long and look flawless. A setting spray, for example, Powder Melt and Easy Bake, these honestly do the same thing. These melt your makeup together and help it make it last all day long. This is a nice mist. This one has a nice mist too. Oh, not on my coffee. This melts your makeup together. So if you're looking very powdery, this truly works. Like, I can't believe how good it works. Today I was looking powdery again because I used my white powder and I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna have all kinds of flashback. I used this, sprayed the heck out of it. Press. Girl, it really just ate. And this does the same exact thing. I love how blurring this is. I think this blurs a little more, blurs better, but this one melts a little bit better. A soft matte setting spray, I keep saying powder, spray that I love is both of these. These are literally the same thing. Anastasia, Mario have soft matte setting sprays. A soft matte setting spray, what it does, it's gonna give you a soft matte look and it's gonna stick things together. So if you're like, something needs a little fixing, you just put that on and you blend it in, especially when your skin is wet. I find that a soft matte powder spray works beautifully for that. These are more of a finishing. These are perfect for when you finish your base to really melt all the powders in. This is actually both for your creams blend and then your powders also blend if you want to keep that mattified look. A last setting spray that we have here is the One Size SPF 28 setting spray. These sprays are very important. If you wear makeup, using an SPF is going to help protect your skin. When you have makeup on, it's not like you could apply your sunscreen over your makeup because then you're going to be like a slimy mess. There are a bunch of these, like e.l.f., Milani has this SPF spray, but this mist is a little like rougher because it's sunscreen. So something you should know about sunscreen setting sprays, because it is a sunscreen setting spray, it will make your skin very dewy and very glowy. Why? Because you're basically spraying sunscreen onto your skin. It's not really a setting spray that could really mattify like something like this. All the SPF setting sprays that I've used all leave your skin with a nice sheen, or maybe not nice. You may not like it. For example, you see how my skin's a little matte? Well, now it's glowy because it's been like a few hours. But if I spray this on, I'm gonna have an even more glowy finish because it is a SPF spray. So keep in mind, if you ever spray your skin with SPF and you're like, wait, why do I look glowier and it's supposed to be a setting spray? That's just how they are made and formulated, because it's a sunscreen sprayed on your face. Something I want to talk about really quickly that is brand new to me and I've been loving, you guys, this perfume from Ellis Brooklyn, Nectar. Girl, when I tell you, I do not want to use this too much as I sprayed right now, and I have nowhere to go because I'm gonna edit this video literally all night. I think this video is gonna be one of my 10 o'clock uploads, but it's okay. This is so good. It's fresh. It smells like nectar. It lasts all day. Anytime I wear this perfume, I get complimented. Like, you smell good. I'm like, oh, thank you, thank you. And I love it. It's at Sephora. Brand is Ellis Brooklyn. Honorable mention. It's not makeup, but it's for us to smell good. Okay, foundation powder that everyone's been talking about this year, MAC. Why did MAC reformulate their oh so beautiful Studio Fix powder foundation? The answer is, who knows? I have no idea. Another thing is, yes, they are different. This powder is different from the original. This powder is not bad. It's just different. The original powder gave you like a matte blurred look. You put that powder on, you're just gonna be matte and blurred bomb, which is great. We're used to that. That's what we've had for decades. But you know, MAC is here. I feel like MAC is on the kind of updating, evolving onto skin-like makeup. This is where this powder, I feel, falls into play, where it gives you good coverage. I used it today. It gives you good coverage, but it's lighter weight and texture, so you're not gonna get that full Studio Fix matte blur coverage unless you build it up. The initial application is very lightweight, very like feathery, so to speak. You'll have to build it to get that traditional MAC look, and I think that's what people are not really liking. And I understand. I think they should have made another one in addition to the original, kept the original, and this was like, oh, this is a different version. It's now a refillable one. Refill is right here. I don't think this one is bad. It's just different. I know sometimes different is not the best option, but this is what we have and it works. It does give us that MAC look. We just have to put a little more elbow grease in it. You know what I mean? But I like it. I mean, I like it. You know, I like MAC. MAC is that girl. And let me know your thoughts. I mean, I've heard a lot of you guys be pissed and be like, yo, I don't like this. And it's understandable. One thing MAC knows how to do is their Studio Fix line, okay? She's up here. I like her still. I like her. Do you like her? Let me know. Mascaras. You know I'm allergic to lash glue. I cannot wear falsies for the life of me. And mascara, girl. Today is today. Mascara is my jam. I love me some mascara. I think we need it. And a lot of you guys ask me what my mascara routine is. My typical routine is using a lengthening mascara first, layer 1. And then using a volumizing mascara, which is one of these two. That's the secret. Also is this lash separator, or the Real Techniques one. You need a lash separator because I feel like that's what gives you that it look. It really detangles your lashes. You know how sometimes when you apply mascara, they look a little spidery and you're like, damn, I just put one coat? It's really depending on the mascara, whether it's old or it just is too heavy. But even if it is heavy, you can always fix it with the lash separator. You could remember this as a comb, like a lash comb, just like you have to comb your hair when it's tangled. Armani has a vertical mascara that is like a lengthening slash, I feel like it is very volumizing. I really like it. I think it works out very, very well. I've used it several times. I love it. It's very consistent. Armani does great mascara. MAC re-elevated their MAC Stack Mascara. I like this version. They updated the the wand, which that nice curve. I like that because it really curves along with your eye. bomb. CoverGirl has the new Super Cloud Lash Blast. This is a lengthening mascara. It's great. It works out very well. It's going to give you nice length. Lengthening mascaras also tend to separate very nicely, and this is what this does. Mario released finally his mascara, and this mascara was about 4 years in the making, he said. It is the Masters mascara. It is a volumizing mascara, and it sure does give you nice volume. You see how it has that tapered wand? It really gets into every single lash. Amazing. Lastly, Lancome Idol has the Flutter extension lashes. This truly extends your lashes so nicely. It makes your lashes look very long. So if you don't really care much about volume, if your natural lashes are very voluminous already and they have a little bit of a curl, use this lengthening mascara. Game changer. I promise you, you'll love your lashes. Last but not least is the lip combo. When it comes to lip liners, Huda Beauty came in strong with these. I have them right here next to me because this is how much I like them. I just reviewed these, and these are lip stains. When I tell you, they stain your lips so beautifully and naturally, and I just love it. When I was getting ready today, I put this on, a little bit of bomb. Adding like a lip stain with the lip gloss is truly one of the most easiest lip combos ever. Not only does it look kind of natural, even if you're not wearing makeup, it still looks natural and it just works. I promise you, a lip combo, even when you have no makeup on, it works. These lip glosses or glasses from MAC, I love. Like, when I reviewed them, remember, I was like, I'm not sure, but what it is these go so well with every other product. It pairs extremely well because the formula is so thin. You can really add it onto anything. If you have a lip combo that's already 4 colors in, you could truly add this and it'll just give your lip combo that pizzazz that it was missing. So that's why I like these. I've been pairing these two together, and I tell you, this has been the most natural lip look that I've been loving, and it lasts because of the stain. Girl, the best lip gloss of 2025, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to say it, is Makeup Forever Boost. These are different from the MAC. These are thick. You're gonna get some good pigment out of this. You don't even really need a lip liner to outline it because these are so pigmented, and because it's thick, it's gonna last long and keep your lips nice and hydrated. Girl, bomb. And this is one of my favorite shades, which is Darling Candy. Ooh, MAC also released their nudes lipstick. Well, it's kind of like a re-release. They had them back in the 90s, but I think they discontinued some colors and then they brought them back. Some of my favorite colors is Stone and Hodgepodge, which is what I have on right now. Look at this. You see? So good. MAC lipsticks and lip products are my favorite. Their lip liner in Plum, it's a new favorite. I just love so much, but their nudes, they really came through. I lip swatch all the nude shades. You have to watch that video to see what I'm talking about, because girl. Oh, the drugstore, we have these 4 new lip products that I really like. This is like just a lip gloss, lip balm. Very easy to use. They come in different colors. They are very pigmented. The formula is very lightweight. I would say use a lip liner because it does bleed outside of your lips. But this is just a quick lip balm you could throw in your purse, call it a day. This is a lip balm that's a little different because it's matte. So when I first lip swatched them, I was like, a matte lip balm, like, I'm not sure about this. But then I started using it more. And I think this, because it's matte, it works out very well as a matte natural combo. If you had a lip liner and add this over top really quick, it's cute. By itself, I feel like that matte takes away dimension from your lips and it makes your lips look super flat. We need a lip liner in order to have dimension with these. I love the colors. There was one color I love, but I gave to my niece because she loved it too. I love the shades of these. I think their shade range is great. And this is good. This was one that I grew to love and now I really love, you know? Something that you want, like a Carmex, a Vaseline, but with color, the new Maybelline. These are the Glaze lip balms. Truly one of my favorite lip balms because they're super pigmented, but they provide so much hydration. If your lips are dry, if you just need a little love, have this in your purse too. Beware, now that it's the summertime, if you keep it in the heat, it will melt. It's very gentle that way. FYI, it's kind of literally like Vaseline. And these Plump Ambitious lip glosses from L'Oreal have been my jam. I did not know I was gonna like this as much as I do. They have a little bit of plump. You feel a little tingle. I love the colors. The shades are pigmented, but they're sheer at the same time. I don't know if that even makes sense, but you see, it just kind of always looks kind of natural on your lips. Even, look, even when you add it on top of a lip combo like I just did right now, it just adds so much more to your already bomb lip combo. I love how they feel on the lips. They're kind of lightweight but pigmented at the same time. Yeah, L'Oreal did their thing with this. There isn't any new lip liners that I like except for the Huda Beauty ones. You already know, love this right here. This is actually my lip combo. I have Beige Boost in NYX, and then I outlined it with Let's Bounce. Is it Let's Bounce? A little bit. These are just honorable mention. These lip liners are literally my favorite. My favorite type of lip liner is a matte lip liner. You can't change my mind about that. I love me a good matte lip liner. But you guys, this is it. Thank you so much for allowing me to be able to do this job, to be able to do what I love so much. Every time you comment, you like, you're here, you're watching, it really helps me. It motivates me to do better, stay consistent, and I just love it here, and I appreciate you so much. You being here never goes unnoticed, and I truly am appreciative of you today and every day. I love you so much. Thank you for always being here, and let me know your thoughts. Let me know, do you want to see anything new? And did I forget anything? I'm sure I did. I don't think I've possibly reviewed every single thing, but if I'm missing key things that you're like, wait, I haven't seen a review, but I've seen reviews everywhere, let me know, because what you guys ask me does help me a lot, because I have a list going with all the things you guys always tell me. So I appreciate you so much. Thank you again for being here. I love you. I love you. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any videos, and subscribe right here. Click the button right here. And I love you, Familia, so much. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Did I lip sync my teeth?